If this video gets 2,000 likes, Noah promised that he's gonna go skydiving with me.
What is going on, guys? Noah Brewer here, back again with another video, and I am with Nazarati out here in Austin, and this is our second interview. If you haven't seen the first one, you might want to go check that out. But Naz is a pretty good friend of mine. We've been hanging out. We went indoor skydiving. It was kind of scary, but we'll be there again. So in this video, I want to talk about TikTok ads, though, because you've been seeing quite the success, especially on literally the first product you tested on
second one.
TikTok. Oh, second one.
Yeah.
Blew up, and I was looking at her stories, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that kind of motivated me to also look into TikTok ads really heavily. So before we get into any specific questions, I want to allow you to introduce yourself for the people that don't know you.
My name is Naz on YouTube. My name is Nazarati, I guess. I've been dropshipping since 2016, mostly focused on Facebook ads. Been doing probably my highest day on Facebook ads been about 50 or 60,000. Yeah, Facebook. So yeah, I've been doing Facebook ads for a while, and recently I see all the hype about TikTok ads, so I've been getting into it.
So essentially, from what I understand, you heard of TikTok ads. You didn't really know what you were doing.
No, I didn't know what I was doing.
I remember I messaged you and I was like, "What are you doing?" And you were like, "I have no idea."
Yeah, that's literally what it was. I remember literally I signed up. Oh, so one of the reasons I got into TikTok ads, it was first of all, I've been always so I had an agency account. I don't have any problems with Facebook, right? Facebook been fine with me. But a lot of people I worked with, if you're new, you get into Facebook, and Facebook right away bans you.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that I had to deal with new people getting into. And you can't go to new people and tell them, hey, here, spend 10,000 and get an ad agency account, right? So it's kind of not that necessarily looking for alternatives, because one thing is with Facebook is that if you're super careful, you slowly build that relationship with Facebook, and then you won't get banned as often, or probably never. But the thing is, they're so focused on you making a mistake that they basically put you in red or whatever, and then you get banned eventually. So I was kind of looking for something that is a little bit easier for people. So I wasn't even thinking about myself at the time. I was like, how can I find something else that is just much easier to, not get banned, or certain things don't happen. So what happens, I looked up on TikTok, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna mess around, and I noticed the back end is so similar to Facebook. It's literally the same.
Copy and paste.
Pretty much. There's only different names. There's ad groups on TikTok, ad set on Facebook.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and on my other video, I kept saying cost per action. Everybody was like, it's cost per accusation. I'm like, all right, it's the same thing. Chill, bro. So what I got into it, the second product I tested, and I actually made the videos myself. The first, because they were my past winning products that I had. So that's another thing, past winning products from Facebook. I literally had them at home, whatever, I'm just gonna record something just like TikTok style, right?
Yeah.
I basically recorded some videos for my past winning products on Facebook, and I started blowing up on TikTok. Literally, I went from I think the first day we did and I do a little bit bigger budget. I test with $100, whatever, each ad group. So the first day was $1,000, and then the next day literally $5,000-6,000, and the third day was $10,000, and then the fourth day 15,000. Yeah. Something crazy.
Super fast, super aggressive. I looked at it and I was like, what the hell is happening? Because what were your cost per purchases, and what was your sale price? Literally,
it was $3-4 cost per purchase, and then I was selling the product for $49.95, getting it for $20.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah. So we were talking about on Naz's interview, which by the way, if you go to her channel, there's an interview where I kind of talked about this from my perspective. We were saying that, a $2 to $3 cost per purchase on Facebook, you can definitely achieve it, but not with a $50 product.
No.
There's no way.
Yeah.
That would be 1 in a million, which is really, really insane, because your return on ad spend had to be 13?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, something like that.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So, how much did you end up scaling that product to?
I think around 100,000, or maybe a little bit less, because I had I did a bunch of other products, but they were not scalable to 100,000. They were dying off at 20-30,000. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that one was good. Pretty much to 100,000.
How many winning products have you had so far?
I would say 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean we're sitting around that level too. As we start testing more, and you'll start running it with your students, and we'll be doing it with clients.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be a lot more experienced and qualified to talk about this, but. Let's get into these questions though, because we have some questions written down that will be really, really good. If you're somebody who's trying to learn, how to get started with TikTok, where to go, you know, how she's been able to find, you know, 8 or 9 winning products already, which like I have my perspective and what we've been doing. So it's definitely valuable to bring somebody new who's just doing things a little bit differently. So, you know, for the first off, like from the step to having nothing to like finding an actual winning product on TikTok, like what does that look like for you?
So the first thing that I did was like basically grabbing my old Facebook winning products and testing them on TikTok. That was my number one thing. So if you don't have if you never had a winning products on Facebook, I would suggest that's my next thing that been really, really practical is literally going on TikTok and like literally just scroll down through products and then see what products getting the most engagement and everything. So I usually don't recommend that on Facebook because it's saturated. On TikTok, that's not an issue. Like actually saturated products do really well, if that makes sense. And we were just talking about it, how like I personally don't test saturated products on Facebook, but I noticed on TikTok, they actually can perform really, really good because new audience, there's not that many advertisers that like advertising like as many as there are on Facebook, so less competition. And then the third that I've been actually doing kind of crazy on Pinterest. If you go actually on Pinterest and scroll down, you get targeted by an ad literally every scroll, which I'm actually gonna make a video for, like probably the next one. Yeah, have you been on Pinterest? Like scroll, it's pretty dang good. Like
so you're doing product research
on Pinterest.
On Pinterest,
it's literally like Ad Spy. It's kind of weird because it's free Ad Spy because it targets you every 2 seconds and click on like 2 dropshipping product and literally targets you like right after each other. So
that's unique. I definitely haven't tried that yet.
Yeah.
So let's say that you have a product that you want to test, whether it's an old winner on Facebook, or you found it by scrolling through TikTok, or Pinterest. You know, what's the next step from there?
So now is finding the videos for it. So I know a lot of people grab other videos on TikTok and test it with them. I personally been working with certain amount of video editors that they're really, really good with TikTok, and I just get them to kind of re-edit everything else. I know there's contents out there for that product, but like they make it very similar to contents on TikTok, so it's TikTok friendly. You know, people click out if the content that is in there is not similar to other TikTok. You know what I'm saying? So I've been working with 2 people that are like pretty dang good, and then they make it so easy for me. So that's what I've been doing. Honestly, just outsourcing to other video editors.
Yeah, and you've also been like a big advocate and kind of like you proved the fact that it is in fact worth making your own custom content. Right? Like where you actually order the product and you make the videos yourself, or if you get, you know, a friend to do it or whatever, it doesn't matter. But you know, that was what was most surprising to me when I found out that you made your own ads.
That's one thing. Well, I heard a lot of people, their ads get rejected because, you know, copyright and everything, so I don't want to deal with all that. And then also just keep in mind, like if the ad is getting like a bunch of like views, like 1 million views, there's a lot of, even though it's the same product, a lot of people seen that, like, you know, the type. So if you even change the first 5 seconds or like edit the video and like it's now like a whole different, you know, story because people are not familiar with the type of, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, you can probably test with other people's videos, but the thing is the ratio of you finding and winning products is going to be like maybe 1 out of like 30 compared to like, let's say 1 out of 10 if you were about to make your own videos.
Okay.
That's just
so like moving forward, are you going to be doing all custom content, or are you also testing with editing?
Well, editing, and I send it to influencers. They like, since I made my, so 2 of the winners that I had, I videoed them myself, which kind of like surprisingly they did crazy good, like 10 cents clicks and everything. So my guess is if people never seen that before and then they see it for the first time, it's gonna do much better than you know, just the content that is out there on the video.
I mean, it is worth noting. We have tested like stolen content versus custom. And like the difference is like pretty drastic. You know, I don't know if that's because we're just really good at making ads, or if the, you know, the ones that we took were just shitty. I don't think so. I think it's like, it's got to be algorithmic. It's got to be, you know, pattern recognition with people scrolling through their feeds, something along those lines. So I kind of agree. Like I want to move in the direction of doing custom content for everything. But from our perspective, like product testing at scale is really hard to do when you have to film for every single test.
Product.
You know, so we are working on ways, like cheaper and more efficient ways to get custom content right now. So But all right, so you made your ad.
Yeah. So one of the things that I'm actually thinking of doing is, first of all, a lot of influencers on TikTok that became TikTok influencers, they don't know what their worth is. You know, they make really, really good content and they don't know what their worth is. Yeah. You literally can hit them up and be like, hey, can I send you like 10 products and I'll pay you like $30? And they literally get so excited. You know what I'm saying? Because they're good at making TikTok. Like you can't hit up like Instagram people and be like, hey, I want TikTok content, you know? And then most of the products that you find on AliExpress, chances are they're also on Amazon, no matter what. Like even if they're they're, you know, and then you can do Prime shipping next day, and then 2 days you get it ready, and then literally you're on the ads. So
yeah, like that's one of the big benefits about like with Facebook, we do a lot of Pioneer method. So like it's kind of like up in the air of like where you can source it, but with copycat, like the shit's out there.
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
You
for
just
sure.
like you prime it to the studio or you prime it to your influencer, and it's like you have the product in 2 days. It's really, really nice.
Yeah. Exactly.
But okay, so you found your product.
Yes.
You made your ad.
Yes.
What's good with the store?
So I do general store. I noticed I've done one product. I've done like niche store. I've done all types of stores. I like general stores because you can literally mass test, right? You can like put 20 billion products in there. I have a guy now that run my, set up my TikTok ads, and I'll be like, hey, can you do 5 to 10 products a day? So he can just literally set them up. I'll go and check my ads myself, but I have someone setting up my ads. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's usually general store, so I can have like bunch of products just in there to test. And honestly, I've scaled so many products in general store that it's just easier to do in general store, you know?
Have you had 2 winning products on one store?
Yeah.
In different niches?
Yes.
With the same pixel?
So I used to use, on Facebook, I used to use Trackify. Not 2 products on TikTok yet. But have you used Trackify before?
No, I'm talking about TikTok though.
Oh, TikTok, no.
So even though you're doing general stores, you're only doing like 1 product at a time?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. I think that's definitely worth considering because with Facebook, we do general stores.
Got it.
And we only do 1 product at a time.
Yeah.
You know, per store, per ad account, like in general. Gotcha. So like I definitely get the whole general store thing, and I tend to agree. We just haven't tested that much with it on TikTok, and also we want 1 product stores because they're easy to transition in the brands.
Yeah, that's very true, and it probably lasts a little bit longer too.
General store built, you got your ad, you got your product. What's next? You got to create the ads,
Yeah, so now we have to put the ads together that like to test the products, right?
Yeah, so what's that process look like? Like what's your campaign structure?
Yeah. So I kind of test with bigger budget just because I want to know if the product is winning product or not. Literally, you have to. Like, I need to know, you know? I'm in a rush. Even with Facebook, I do the same thing. I have no patience. I like to like have bigger budget and then tell me if it's winning or not. So what I do usually, I actually set up 6 ad groups instead of 6 ad groups inside the campaign. I do 3 US, 3 Canada. The reason I do that, I don't put UK, Canada and US together. I notice they don't perform for some reason for me personally. I've tried it multiple times too. Like either it doesn't spend or it doesn't perform. For some reason, they just don't work for me. Yeah. So I do 3. Yeah, I do 3 Canada, 3 US. And then believe it or not, no targeting. Same thing on Facebook. No targeting does really, really well for me. No targeting on TikTok always end up doing much, much better for me.
So you just start out the gate with no targeting at all?
No targeting. So I do actually. I do one of the US ad groups. I give it targeting so I can compare it with no targeting, you know. And I do one of the Canada with targeting. I mean, if you have a winning product, it's gonna perform no matter what. But I noticed no targeting, the cost per acquisition is just way lower, and it just performs much, much better. I feel like TikTok is like advanced enough now, just kind of like Facebook, to find the right audience and then show your ad to the right audience at this point. The things that are only changed is like the language English. I put the budget for usually $100 each ad group, and then I do $10, $10 bid and $15 bid, and then lowest cost. Okay. So kind of like that. Lowest cost, I don't really have a set time during the day that I set them up, but if I do lowest cost, it's kind of like Facebook, you want to do it at midnight because it can blow up through your budget real quick. But the other ones, whenever in the day, I tell my guy to just set it up whenever.
Yeah. So I'm trying to visualize this inside of an actual ad account.
Yeah.
And what I'm hearing is essentially you do 6 ad sets.
Yes.
$100 a day each.
Yes.
3 of them are targeting US, 3 of them are
Canada.
targeting Canada, which
Yeah.
is very weird, by the way. Like,
Why is that?
Because we target US and Canada in each ad set.
Together, yeah.
So like, which by the way, bear with me, guys, because this is my first time hearing her strategy. So like, I'm trying to understand it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do it. We don't have any issues other than like sometimes it'll get like approved in the US and then disapproved in Canada.
Dude, this happens. That's another reason I noticed Canada always get disapproved for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like literally, it would be nothing wrong with the ad or policy, and Canada would be like, oh, disapproved.
Yeah.
I think that's a glitch with TikTok,
But
honestly.
anyways, back on track. 3 of them are targeting US, 3 of them are in Canada.
Yes.
Okay. And then you have 3 different bids for each.
Yes.
You have lowest cost, $10
and
or
10.
no, 15
And 10, yeah.
and 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it doesn't spend, I know a lot of people complain about, oh, it's not spending. If it doesn't spend, like if you up the bid to $20 and it doesn't spend, most likely it wouldn't be a winning product, at least in my opinion. Yeah.
So yeah, very interesting method, and that's a $600 daily budget, which is like pretty intense. Like most people are not going to want to spend that for every single product. So
For sure.
Are you actually spending $600?
No. Well, you won't spend if it's like, that's another thing. You're setting, so here's the thing. This is my concept, because on TikTok, usually when your budget is too, on Facebook, sorry, you get better audience if you have bigger budget, right? So I'm kind of like, if TikTok is like copying Facebook that much, chances are they might like higher budget too. You know what I'm saying?
Which they do, for sure.
Yeah, so I like to set the budget high, but I don't spend it that much, So I put it at $100, but like if the $10, $15, usually if it starts spending at $10, the chances are like it could be a winning product. Like that's already like a good sign if it's spending at like under $10. Like literally my winning products would spend at $8. So I feel like if it doesn't spend by 15, then or 15, 20, then it's not going to be a winning product. So I don't spend the whole money unless it's a winning product, then I let it spend. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I'm assuming you only let it run for one day.
Yeah, for one day.
What's your cutoff point? Let's say you wake up in the morning and you have $300 spent and 2 sales.
Yes, no, I would kill that. I wouldn't spend. I don't spend more than $100 in testing. So like, if it's, let's say ad group level, so I manage them through ad group. Lowest cost, no matter what, would start spending. If my cost per click is like $1 on TikTok, is way too expensive. I would just shut, like, no interest in that ad. People don't like it, so I just shut it off. And then if the CPM also, like, I noticed all my winning products were like about $3 to $6. The winning products. If it's like $20, there's no chance. So those are the sign. And if it's, let's say the numbers look good, CPM looks good, CPC looks good, and it breaks even, it doesn't get any sales, let's say $20, $30, and at that point each ad group, then I kill it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you ever had a situation, because like for me, if I were to go out and set $600 in budgets, like at least half of that is going to spend by the time I wake up.
Well, if you do lowest cost, it would spend. If it's like $10, $15, usually most of the time it wouldn't spend that much. So usually by the time you wake up, it might have spent like $40, $50.
Okay, but
at that point.
If each ad set is at 100 per day and you have 2 at lowest cost, right?
Yeah.
So how do you like time that?
Well, by the time I wake up, it's usually first of all I'm in LA time, so technically when I wake up, so I set my whole account at LA time. I'm in Central time, so that's Pacific. So like technically it's 5 a.m. So usually wouldn't be spent like $20, $30 each ad group. So by morning time, actually I would know if I'm getting sales. I'm like, wow, okay, that's a good sign. Let me check out my ads. But if I'm not getting sales, I'm like, all right, that looks like not a winning product.
So you just wake up, check your phone.
Yeah,
pretty much.
much.
I have no sales. I gotta go turn it off.
Pretty much, yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, so if you sleep in, you lose a bunch of money.
Yeah, I don't sleep in though. I usually wake up at 5:30.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's really interesting, and we'll talk about, or we just talked about how you would kind of like get it set up from product research, getting the ad, building your store, setting up the initial test.
Right.
Do you want to talk a little bit about what happens after the fact? Like let's say you launch a test and it's actually profitable. Like what are some of the things that you do to progress it from spending $600 a day on these base campaigns to spending, $2,000 a day, for example? So
here's the craziest thing, probably you can never do that on Facebook, is if you have a winning product, your budget would spend by I had let's say $500 ad groups, and literally by midday, it would, if it's winning, right, it would spend all my money, and my bid would be $8. That's when they perform it really, really, really good, right? And then what I do, I literally double it from $500 to $1,000. In the middle of the day, I go increase the budget, double it. I duplicate too. That's because I'm still testing to see if duplication will work better or raising the budget. But actually, I noticed if it does well by midday, like let's say you're getting, I don't know, $7-8 cost per acquisition. If you increase the budget, let's say you're running out. So TikTok does that. Facebook doesn't do that. If you're setting the bid, it spends your money like whenever they want, like midday. If it's performing, it would spend all your money. So what I do, I just increase that budget or double it, and for the rest of the day now, more likely is gonna perform. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a weird method.
So what happens at midnight? Do you switch it back to its original budget?
Yes. Well, I try to, like, let's say if it looks like the cost per acquisition is going really up, like I feel like then I kind of drop it. I probably before I go to sleep.
You know that there's a name for that method, right?
Wait, what is it?
I've tested it like years ago on Facebook.
Hold on. Is it Timbert?
No, it's or maybe.
Timbert came up with it. I forgot the name.
Surfing.
Yes, true. Surfing. Yes.
Surf
yes.
scaling.
Yeah.
Which
it was
is crazy.
Timbert came up with the name of it.
Yeah.
Because I used to watch his advertising stuff.
That's nuts because you're right. If you did that on Facebook, you would absolutely fuck it up.
Yeah.
But I feel like you can almost do anything on TikTok right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because there's you
can just do whatever method you want.
Yeah,
and it
works.
Probably work.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that's really cool though. Like surf scaling is super effective. Essentially, like if you guys don't understand what she said, like if the ad is doing good midday, she'll actually increase the budget, like edit the ad set itself, and then come midnight, she'll set it back to its original budget and kind of like restart the day over, which is really cool because throughout the day you can keep on increasing it or you can decrease it, like if it starts underperforming.
Yeah.
So you can be like a nerd sitting at your computer all day just editing budgets of your ad sets. So it's a really cool method. It's a really fun method. Yeah. And honestly, I'm going to test it. Like,
yeah, you should.
You know, obviously I'm learning right now too. Like I'll send it. Like I actually got it to work on Facebook before.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, but that's really interesting, and thanks for sharing that for sure.
I remember in 2019 I used to use the surfing. I forgot what it was called in 2019, but after I feel like last probably year and a half it would not work anymore. I don't know. That's just personal experience.
Yeah, the algorithm got way too sensitive.
Yeah, like everything. Like it's just Facebook is just super sensitive about
like
everything.
it's if you edit an ad set inside of Facebook, it like tenses up and it's like, what are you doing? I'm not gonna make another sale.
Yeah, that's true.
But I like how TikTok is really loose, and it's like part of the reason that you have to take advantage of it, because if you can get away with surf scaling on TikTok, like that's one of the easiest ways to scale. Like it doesn't get any simpler than that.
Yeah, that's how I went. Like that's how I was doing like from 1,000. I'm like, wow, this is performing. Let me just add the budget. I'm gonna add the group. I'm like, okay, 200, 400. Okay, 200. Okay, I'm going to 500. 500. Let's do 1,000. Let's see what happens. So it was kind of like that.
Yeah, so I'll definitely have to test that out. But I mean, I think that you shared a lot of valuable information here. I was definitely able to learn a lot myself, and I'm for sure going to have my team go and test out your methods, especially the surf scaling part. Yeah. Maybe putting US and Canada in different ad groups.
Yeah,
but maybe you should test them together again.
I should. Maybe change, because I know like lowest cost is just new, and I'm sure TikTok is still figuring out a lot of things. So you're right. I might go test US and Canada together.
But if you guys want to join this discussion and share your methods or whatever, leave them in the comments, because not only am I going to be reading it, Naz is also going to be reading it, and the other viewers are going to be reading it. So when you guys leave comments with feedback, or maybe you have any comments on her methods or how we could get better, of course, I appreciate it. I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm going to leave Naz's information in the description. Definitely go check out her videos on how she scaled the store to 15K a day. Yeah. In 4 days.
Around that, yeah.
4 or 5 days. Crazy case study. Yeah. Super excited that we were able to have her on the channel and provide this value. So
yay. Make sure you like this video, because Noah promised that if his video gets 2,000 likes, he's going to go skydiving with me. And he really does not like to go skydiving.
I'm not skydiving. But that's it for this video. Hope it was valuable. Peace.
I'll see you later.